Hello, I've made this relatively short video for you, which is a way for you to finish a yoga practice with just 3 poses: a floor twist, a short Baddha Konasana bound angle pose lying down, and everybody's favorite pose, legs up the wall. It's up to you about whether you just listen to this as an audio, or there might be some information for you about doing the floor twist or Baddha Konasana or getting in and out of legs up the wall. So let's begin. Take a lying down position. I'm going to add this floor twist, I guess you could call it, or hip rotation. Lying down, step your feet out as wide as the mat, and then alternate taking your knees to one side and then to the other. So I noticed when I did my practice of Parsvatanasana, that I needed some work on the outside of my thighs. That outer hip area felt really tight. So you might have that going on for you, and this is an excellent outer hip IT band stretch. And it's so simple, like you did an earlier twist in the warm-up period. This one, with the breath, the head turns the opposite way of the legs. And you're listening to your body and feeling the sensations of that work on the outer leg. Now, bring your feet together and allow the knees to drop out to the side for Baddha Konasana. So you stretch the outer thighs and then just giving a few moments here to stretch the inner thighs. In no way pushy, just feeling this as a release. If I were going to stay here longer, I'd use some blocks or blankets underneath the outside of my knees. That enhances the feeling of letting go through the pelvis. And now releasing from that supine position and coming into preparations for Viparita Karani. Take a bolster and place it near to the wall. It's about the distance of 4 fingers away from the wall. And then I've added a blanket placed in front of the bolster, which designs or creates the shape of a stair step. So the bolster a little bit higher than the blanket. And for me, gives a lot of comfort to the way that the shoulders are placed. You can try that, or you can just, if you find it easier on your back, or it's a difficult movement to get your hips up on a bolster. And in my practice at this particular time, that was a difficult movement. Which means that you have to work to wriggle yourself into the wall, which often happens. If that happens, use your arms and do everything you can to get your hips in as close to the wall as possible. I'm using a belt in my practice to keep my legs together. Feels like I can relax them a whole lot more if I use that approach. Once you're in the pose and thinking about where you want to put your arms, you could have them overhead And in this particular practice, I like to have my arms out to the side, in between the blanket and the bolster. Before you commit yourself to being in a still pose, there might be some little adjustments that you need to make yourself the most comfortable that you know how. We're going to stay in legs up the wall pose for a little while. This practice gave you a chance to really sense and feel your body. And possibly we can go a little deeper with that in actually releasing the sense organs. So your ears relax, tongue relaxes on the bottom of your mouth. Corners of your nose relax. Your skin relaxed all over your body. And focusing on your sense of vision, take a little time to relax your eyes. When you're in the yoga relaxation, and for this practice, this is a version of that, initially there might be a little flickering movement through your eyes. Then what you can do is turn your attention to your breath. And almost as though you're internalizing your vision, to watch the breath on the inside of your rib cage. So as your eyes, still relaxed, draw down to look into that breathing center, the lungs. Watch the lift and drop of your chest on every breath that you take. As well, allow the breath to be unconstrained, just easy. You're with the breath when you inhale, and you're going with the breath when you exhale. That area of the breathing center is where your heart is too. Just to let your gaze and your attention rest on the heart center, on the warmth of your own heart. Time to move will come very quickly, but you don't have to feel rushed. In fact, your exit from the pose should be as gentle and kind on your body as your time in the pose. So at this time, perhaps do an overhead stretch. Stretch your feet, wiggle your toes. And beginning to fold your legs down. But slowly. And then to make the gentlest exit from the pose, merely slide your buttocks back off the bolster and onto the blanket if you have one there, or onto the floor. Just far enough so that you can still prop your legs up onto the bolster. Maybe that's cross-legged position, maybe that's Baddha Konasana. And then staging our exit, roll to the side and take it very quietly and peacefully to come up. Have a seat on a folded blanket on your mat. Fold your legs in. And rest your hands onto your legs. And feel the influence of the practice that you've done. There might be a little feedback for you there. Notice the mood of your mind. Finally bring your hands up, place them over the heart center. Bow to the heart. Namaste. And ready to release from your practice. When you're ready, come on up.